Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and for my new subscribers, I'm very glad you're joining us. Welcome all of you. I'm so very happy you took the time to watch my video today, and I'm very grateful for all the subscribers that are a long time with me and all the new ones. I hope I can inspire you. And today I have finished my document journal. I didn't film this, just the last ephemera. That was my latest video. I'll link it down below if you're interested. I wanted to make kind of a real document journal, so this is very different from the two tall journals I made. They were pretty much embellished. This is also, yeah, a bit fluffy and has elements in there, but I left it a bit more plain because this is for sale and I want the recipient to have the opportunity to really use it as a writing journal. Because I wanted to leave the document journal pretty much a bit more original, not just a tall journal. I thought the key was fun because the velvet ribbon, I really wanted to use this on this journal, and it's too bulky to make it into a bow. I left it long for the recipient to use it in another way if she likes, and I really liked the real vintage rusted key on there as a bit of an extra closure. This is the back. It's really tall. It's 12 inches by 4. And I left it that way because this is not a digital. I have that document in my stash, and my husband scanned and copied it on at his work, because at home we can't print more than, not larger than A4. This is just wrapped around, and yeah, I really like this, this velvet ribbon, and the recipient can use it any way she likes. I just wrapped around a beautiful piece of wallpaper. It's not vintage, but the style fits vintage elements, has vintage elements, and I really love it. The blue and the gold pieces in there. The ones who follow me longer know I have made 2 journals with this wallpaper on the cover, so that's why I wanted to use it. I really like it, and that way I could leave the document exactly the way it was in real life. It's 1937, and of course it's a Dutch document, really beautiful. And here I just did some collaging to make it a bit more interesting, because the backside, of course, was completely blank. And I used the string of the real document. I took the papers out, and with this string it was attached, and that's why I reused it on this journal to make it even more authentic. What did I want to say more? Oh yeah, the document binding, like Roxy Creations does. So I used Roxy Creations document kits, the journaling page of the beautiful pages. Yeah, it's a wrong word, and the plain pages. And on these pages there are images on there, and the plain pages are more background pages on which you can also journal. This is a vintage tea card from a vintage tea card book, and it's a wintry scene. Now I forgot the name in English. In Dutch it's sneeuwklokjes, but I forgot the English name. I reinforced this with cotton fabric and lace, because otherwise it would push it down when you bind it, and I also like the effect. Although I wanted to leave it pretty much authentic, I thought it really needed some lace and some fluff as a combination, but I didn't want to make it all shabby or all girly like. So yeah, I don't know if that makes sense. Let's flip through it. From an old doily piece, I made a top tuck. In here is a piece of packaging paper with texture paste. I really like that. This is an image from Ruby and Pearl. I just added a vintage stamp and a little image from chapter 1. Really love this image. It has a real vintage vibe, the image. I hope the lighting is good. It's a bit cloudy outside. This is a plain page from the kit, but again, so much detail in the papers. Very beautiful. It's also, I think I did all the digitals back-to-back printing. This is vintage music sheet paper. This is also a vintage fabric, and I made it into a pocket. And in there, an Italian, yeah, I don't know if this rag paper, I don't really think so, but it has texture. It feels, you can feel that it's very old. And I tucked it in here, and that's what I did with this journal. That's why it's chunky. It's filled with all kinds of items that the recipient can use in this journal or in another one. So that goes in this beautiful pocket. It's real furniture to decorate furniture. Upholstery fabric. The vintage music page. This, of course, is the kit with the birds. And on here, a crochet trim. I'm going to put that away. Yeah. And in here, again, a vintage vellum bag, vintage calendar page, and a vintage book page. A dictionary page, very old. I try to use all old papers or a few scanned old documents, but the rest is real old. And then, of course, Rachel's beautiful digitals. This is also a vintage wallpaper. This I made in the last video of making ephemera for this journal. Beautiful image from Gina Makes It. Love that image. I have that in my own personal journal also. And yeah, beautiful, the digital. This is very old and has made it through a flood, I think. I think that was wet sometime. It's a ledger page. Very beautiful, very fragile. And here you can tuck something in there, but really it's a display of a beautiful paper. It's very thin. A kit page. The double belly band like Rachel did. And in here, if you saw the flip through of the tall journals, I made a package like this. This is a belly band from ShabbyCottageStudio, the digital. It closes with Velcro, and in here a beautiful image from a vintage book. And here this is rag paper. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, the structure of the paper. And in here all different, I'm not going to take them out all, some receipts and some book pages with interesting coloring or lettering all kinds of papers to be used. This wraps around, and this also closes with the Velcro. I'll put it back later into the belly band. Beautiful image of the girl. This is a copy of a vintage letter, but I think it's so beautiful with the with the writing. And on the other side, after the center, you can see a beautiful stamp and oh, I'm looking for my words. Maybe it comes to me when we get there, but beautiful page, kit page. Here I made a lace pocket, and in here, yeah, this is the digital. In here, a touch of the Netherlands. It's from a very old book, and this is Amsterdam, Grachtenhuizen. Next to the water are all these kinds of houses. Some very narrow houses, but also very big ones. Dictionary in my favorite font, Old German. Also, yeah, very thin page. Kit page. So you see, there's a lot of room you can use, and yeah, that's why I wanted tuck spots and pockets so the recipient can put all her excuse me, all her own yeah, ephemera or memory keeping. She can, yeah, put it in here. Also a digital from a beautiful letter. This I did scan. I have the original. It's a girl's own paper. It's a magazine, a very old magazine from 1897, and I really liked the image. And here is an article from that that month's edition. The kit page, so lots of blank pages. This is just clipped on. It's a journaling card I made with some texture paste. Really liked the way this came out, and this is all, yeah, beautiful old ledger. I wanted, yeah, this is a cute story. I'm really using up book pages, and my intention was to glue this on there because this side was blank, and accidentally I did it wrong. And yeah, then I thought, so I told my husband, and I thought, no, I have to back that, not a problem at all. But he said, you don't have to back it, it's beautiful like this, and yeah, you can write on it. And I thought, yeah, he's right, so I left it. Let's put it back. Sip of water, I'm sorry. My throat is really sticking. So lots of room for writing. Here a little tuck spot because even the ledger is taller than this journal. And inside I put a Dutch vintage book page, and this is an old receipt, but it's never filled in. So I wet it and aged it a bit with ink. But I love the beautiful blue coloring. It really goes well with this kit. So for the pop of color, but it's, yeah, I bought it in a vintage pack, so it's old. Because, yeah, in the Netherlands everything is digital. They never use these receipts anymore. Beautiful kit page. And I just made a tab to accentuate that this is the center, but it really goes well with the coloring. Some of my favorite dotted tulle. And with that I made a double pocket, but I didn't want anything that wasn't see-through because the center page is beautiful, this digital. Very beautiful. In here I put a vintage music sheet to use, and oh, this is also Italian. I just got my paper pack in time to put these things in here from Rachel. This is an image from ShabbyCottageStudio. I added a real stamp, I like that, and on the back is journaling space, so just a bit of extra in the pocket. Here I made a fabric tab, beautiful kit page. This is the other side of the ledger, and this is a I think tailor-made journals. Oh, I'm not sure, but I will link the digitals down below. It's a French check, and I backed it with the other side, and I aged it up a bit. A vintage calendar page, a double, I think a double one, yeah. And this is a digital from Ruby and Pearl. Added a real stamp, and you can, yeah, I'll fold it out because I have a lot of new subscribers. A lot of people know these, but if you're new, you can print it on two sides, and this, when you fold it, this makes the envelope, and this is the letter. I really love these, and the blue color is, yeah, really my favorite. You fold it in like this, and here was the stamp, the post stamp, and that goes in the pocket too. So the ledger paper, this flips out, a lot of room to journal or put photos. This I also made especially for the top tuck, so I left this flat, and here I did some more embellishing, and a lot of journaling space on the back, and the beautiful digital. So that bulks it up a bit, but it's all removable. So if the recipient wants to use this completely as a writing journal, it can. Beautiful kit page, and the other side of the girl's own paper, the article, and the other side of the image. And in here also the back side of the letter, or the other side of the document letter. And in here, this is also real. Yeah, you can see the marks where the papers got wet, and here the seal, that's the word I was looking for, but that's vintage, and this is a French book page, beautiful aged coloring to be used, or just as decoration. It's also nice. The other sides of the dictionary. Here I made, if you saw my tall journals, they had this pocket also made from book pages, decorated with digitals, and it has a pocket, and in there is a tag I did in my last video, the ephemera making, and on the back lots of writing space. Goes in there. The kit page I just left, this also, and in here, this is the other side of the letter. Ah, I covered up the seal. I didn't. Or is it? Oh no, it's here. It's not really a stamp, but more a seal, and the stamps are here from the old document, but that's scanned. Beautiful thin lace, and in there I put some embossed paper. And this card I also made in my last video. Beautiful image, also from ShabbyCottageStudio. And on the back, writing space. Tucks back. Yeah, beautiful letter. This also the digital, very beautiful. It goes very well with all the seals and the stamps. Gorgeous. This, I really love this page. The old Italian lettering and the receipt, and yeah, very beautiful. Here with a label from Roxy Creation, I created, and some packaging, I created a belly band and it's on that very, very fragile ledger paper. This side you can see it a bit more for registration. And in there I printed on transparency paper and made a coin envelope, or yeah, just a vellum bag out of it. And I put it in here because it really went well with the coloring, and some piano roll paper to use. So I really filled it up with papers to be used. I really love this edge. It's naturally, I didn't do anything to it, it was like that. Beautiful digital. This also looks a little bit like a belly band. And this is the old dictionary page. I really like the owl, so I didn't want to cover them up. And I wanted a fabric pocket down here. And this has a flip, because yeah, it's a really large page. And I didn't want to cut anything off. I liked that this is, yeah, so roughly and torn. It was like that, so I didn't want to do anything to it. And I wanted to cut the pocket until here, and then I thought, why not let it go further over the flap? And I made a little, I didn't put anything in here because I didn't want to cover up the owls. But yeah, it's, do I have something very quickly? Yeah, it's a pocket. And in here I made a small long tag, also in the video, my last video with the ephemera making, and on the back journaling space, also with an image from ShabbyCottageStudio. And some cheesecloth on the back behind the image, digital, and the other side. This I did in the tall journals also. I really like that idea. It's from Rachel, Roxy Creations, vintage music page. And this is a digital from a vintage envelope. And in here is a real old tag. And I didn't do anything to it because I want a recipient to, yeah, so like the book pages and everything, she can use this. A real stamp on there. I have a lot of stamps. Digital. And here again, there was a seal on the digital, but I put a real stamp on there that looked like a seal. I really like that effect. This is, yeah, the digital a bit more. And on there I just clipped, I backed this beautiful image from PaperDaisyJournals. I backed it with wrapping paper or packaging, and so the back is completely empty for journaling. And I did this just for some extra interest on this page, a pop of color, and it goes very well with the tag I made, or the journaling card I made in here. This I wanted the same color. And this is a new kit I bought from Blubell Designs, I'm sorry. And this is from a piece of ShabbyCottageStudio. I thought from the Rachel's kit, but it's not. And a label from Rachel, and I put it over the back. This is old book page, and it's very soft. It's really, it also feels a bit like cotton paper. And it became a beautiful, and in a way, a very simple way of making a journal card, and not thick at all, because yeah, you can see it's, it's really bulky. The book page from the winter book, from the tea cards. This is the digital. I just jazzed it up a bit with a strip of chapter 1 full washi strips, and of course Rachel's book plate. And that's the journal, and this is the back, both vintage papers. So yeah, you can see, although I tried to make it as flat as possible for people for the recipient to write in it. I didn't succeed because, yeah, I do like, this is my style, I do like that it has some textured elements, but again, there's plenty of room and most of it is removable. So I hope you like this flip through, maybe got some ideas. Yeah, I made lots of videos, so there's always something that is a bit in this style. If you want to make something like that and you want to have a craft along video, please check my playlists. And yeah, I hope someone likes it as much as I do, because I really loved making this. Like I said with the tall journals, I love making this. I don't really understand why, but yeah, it's nice. It's nice to make this this format, and it was nice to make a new kind of journal again. So this just flips around loose to be used, and this can be wrapped around, and I just put the key on for some an extra element of the vintage style. As always, thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel. If you like this video, I would love for you to give a like, a comment, or subscribe if you want to see more videos. Everybody who saw a video of me before knows I love making these videos. So I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.